If you want these or these, watch this video. And so if this didn't give you a clue as to what we're talking about, then where have you been? Today's video is on William Lee, which I did a natty or not, said the guy's natural. He's only 150 pounds, but the guy is lean, and so he looks much bigger than he really is. But in today's video, we're calling him out. He's done several videos where he's given misinformation. For the most part, the videos, information, personality, all amazing, and I do recommend his channel to other people. But occasionally, he makes a mistake, says something that, well, I just don't agree with. And so in today's video, we're gonna be checking out those mistakes, correcting them, so that we can all learn from his mistakes.
Kings, I might get canceled for this, but this is a very controversial workout tip that's worked for me.
And so what he's literally saying is that to build the rear delt, that you should do side laterals with horrible form using very heavy weights. Why would you say that?
Although I don't train rear delts as much as I should, the reason why my rear delts aren't completely tiny is because of this. I'm doing lateral raises with atrocious form, but I love doing them this way because it works the side delts as well as the rear delts.
Why not just get a pen, bend back and say, you want to build these, do these. And then do bent over laterals properly. You're bent over, you lift the barbells to the side. Bent over side laterals. It's literally going to target directly the rear head of the delt.
If you want to be efficient with your workouts and you already do a lot of pressing movements like bench press, I would suggest trying this out as it doesn't overlap working the anterior delt as much as a regular side raise does.
And as he says, if you do a lot of pressing movements, what you're typically doing is overdeveloping the anterior front deltoid, and so the rear delt, the one in the back you can't see, it's not developed to that extent. And so what he says is to make up for all that overdevelopment, that you should do side laterals incorrectly with bad form. And you're seeing the form, you can see it's too heavy. He says, that's why I have a little bit of development in my rear delt. No, you have some development in your rear delt because you're training your back. When you're training your back, oftentimes, you're actually going to develop the rear head of the delt. But if you want to maximize, optimize the development of the rear delt, simply do bend over dumbbell laterals. It's literally that simple. All he needs to do is half the weight, bend over further, and he's got it set.
King, if you're a beginner trying to grow your chest, save this workout. Start off with 3 sets of 5 wide grip knee push-ups.
Okay, and so if you're a beginner trying to grow these, save this workout. Only don't do the one that he just said. First of all, he says to do 3 sets of 5 as a warm-up, knee push-ups. 5 reps is not enough to properly warm up the muscle. If you have to do 3 sets of 15 rather than 1 set of 15 knee push-ups, then you're not strong enough to properly do push-ups as a beginner. And so what do you do instead? You do wall push-ups. All you need to do is stand away from the wall and fall forward and push up against the wall. Used to teach this in physical education class all the way from primary to grade 12, depending on the skill level, the strength of the student. I get them to do wall push-ups versus knee push-ups versus regular push-ups. And so if you can't do 1 set of 15 knee push-ups, what you should do is warm up by doing wall push-ups. That makes it a lot lighter, easier, and so you can properly warm up the muscle.
Then 3 sets of 5 incline push-ups. Then 3 sets of 5 decline push-ups. Then 3 sets of regular knee push-ups till failure.
And so the problem is if you can't do 15 regular knee push-ups, then doing 3 sets of 5 incline and decline push-ups, that's just going to be too hard. Anyone strong enough to do 3 sets of 5 incline and decline push-ups is clearly going to have the strength to do 15 plus regular knee push-ups. And so the advice to start out with 3 sets of 5 as a warm-up, it's just not proper. Also, beginners shouldn't be training that heavy. Why are we doing multiple sets of 5 repetitions? That is how powerlifters train. Powerlifters are often not beginners, and they're certainly not doing full workouts doing push-ups. And if you're a beginner, should you actually be doing 12 sets of chest in one workout? Of course not. That would lead to overtraining. In particular, the last 3 sets to failure doing knee push-ups. Even 1 set to failure doing knee push-ups, if you're a beginner, that's probably too much. You do not need to train to failure when you first start training doing push-ups, sit-ups, and so on. It's called progressive overload. You train harder than last time over time. Beginners, they start easy. You always leave several reps in the tank. You do not want to get to the point where you're overly sore, you wake up and can hardly move. And if you do his exact workout and you're a beginner, ending with 3 sets to failure push-ups, way too hard, too challenging. And so I strongly suggest if you're a beginner to do far fewer sets, less volume, lower the intensity, leave the harder than last time training for later.
King, if I had to restart from a skinny teenager again, then these are some things that I would start doing ASAP. First, I would Google BMR calculator, find out how many calories I'm burning per day, and add 300 to 400 extra calories on top of that.
Well, the problem is those BMI calculators, they are not even close to accurate. And so you can type in your height, weight, age, all that stuff, add 300 or 400 and still be in a deficit. Or you could actually be in a surplus without adding 300 to 400 calories. And so the net result, it's not going to give you any accurate information on what you should actually do. And so if you follow this information and you're a young teenager, you might in fact be dramatically overeating or dramatically undereating. You really think 13, 14, 15-year-olds all have the ability, the knowledge to accurately determine how many calories they're eating? Most adults and even half the coaches I know cannot do this. And so simply saying to type in your information, go on a BMI calculator, figure out how many calories you need, and add in 300 to 400, it's not going to do a world of good. Also, a 300 to 400 calorie daily surplus is way more calories than you need to actually put on muscle without putting on a ton of fat. And so how much calorie surplus do you actually need? Well, research shows that it takes approximately 25 to 2,800 extra calories to create and build 1 pound of muscle. The actual pound, once it's there, it contains about 800 calories. Fat has 3,500 calories, but it takes 25 to 2,800 calories to build that muscle. And so let's say in 1 year, you have the world's greatest genetics. You're planning on putting on 24 pounds of muscle in 1 year. 24 pounds. Perhaps your newbie lifter got great genetics, and so your plan, I'm putting on 24 pounds of muscle this year. And so what kind of surplus would you actually need to add on 24 pounds of muscle in 1 year? Remember, 24 is a lot. 24 pounds. Imagine if I put on 24 pounds right now, I would compete Mr. Olympia 212 and actually do good. 24 pounds is a lot. And so to add 24 pounds of muscle in a year, you would require a daily surplus of approximately 165 to 184 calories. But yet he's saying 300 to 400. And so unless you're going to put on 40, 50 pounds of muscle in a year, you do not need a 300 to 400 calorie surplus for a lean bulk. That's where people always seem to get it wrong. It is not 300, 400, 500 calories required to do a lean bulk. And so think of it. If your goal is to put on 12 pounds of muscle in a year, which is really good, the math's saying you need 82 to 92 surplus calories per day. And so would it not make more sense to advise someone on a lean bulk to add perhaps 100 or 200 calories? If you want to gain mostly muscle and not much fat, you shouldn't eat much more than 82 to 92 calories per day. And so it's not William Lee's fault. This is what the majority of the internet keeps saying. Hey, you want to go on a lean bulk, just add a lot of muscle without gaining any fat, just add 300, 400 calories. It's not true. You don't need that many calories to build muscle. And so if you're not a skinny teen, perhaps you're already overweight, you don't even need any extra calories. The body can quite literally use the energy stored as adipose tissue to build muscle. And so what is my advice? What would I tell people to do? Well, I like to keep my advice simple. Use the mirror and the scale. Weigh yourself first thing in the morning, and over time, from week to week, month to month, just make sure your weight goes up a little bit. And all the while, look in the mirror. Once a week, for example, just to make sure that what you are gaining isn't excess body fat. If you notice that you're gaining a ton of fat, you're eating too many calories, and so you eat less. If you notice that you're getting too lean, you don't have as much energy, your body fat is dropping, eat more. And so I don't think most people can simply track every single thing they're eating every single day. But I do think that most people have a mirror and a scale, and they can look in the mirror and say, I'm getting fatter, I'm staying the same, I'm getting leaner. And based on that, simply eat more, eat about the same, or eat less. Keep the information simple.
Number 2 is to start mewing and chewing gum. This way my face will match my body when I do get absolutely shredded.
Number 2 is mewing, chewing a lot of gum, thinking that's gonna give you a chiseled jawline. That's all BS. How many of you actually believe that? You buy the Jazzercise and you're gonna end up looking like Giga Chad? No, of course not. Don't chew all the gum. Eat more protein, fruits, and vegetables. Have a balanced diet. Try to eat 5 meals a day with protein to maximize protein synthesis, as you have up to 5 opportunities to build muscle during the day by eating protein. Go to the gym, work out, try to train your entire body twice a week. Eat a healthy, balanced diet from all 4 food groups, and that is the way to grow up, have muscles, and to look good.
Number 3 is to start spamming the bench press. It's literally a cheat code to looking aesthetic. So learn proper form to avoid injury. Feet planted, shoulders retracted, wrist joints stacked, back arched, and lats engaged. Like and follow if you want to see a part 2.
And his last advice, to spam the bench press. And so there's nothing wrong with the bench press to build your chest. It's my favorite exercise as a teenager, and I probably benched more than anyone, and not more weight, more often, more sets and reps. I absolutely love this exercise. But what I did do at one point was I overtrained the bench press. I literally got stuck. I hit a plateau, couldn't get any stronger. I was stuck at 292 pounds at age 17. It couldn't get any stronger. And so what did I do? I trained 10 sets of 10 every single day on the bench. And what happened to my bench? It never went up for 6 straight months. Why? Because I was overtraining. I literally spammed the bench press as he said to do. And he's saying use proper form and great technique, yet he's showing improper form and poor technique. First off, that's too heavy. When you're beginner training, trying to improve your form, you should be doing at least 10 reps, probably closer to 15. Use proper technique. And when you're doing proper technique, your ass, it stays on the bench. Notice his extreme arch and his ass hips lifting away from the bench. That is not how you properly perform a bench press. Your butt, shoulder blades must remain in contact with the bench. And so my advice to William Lee, lighten the weight, use proper technique, pause the weight at the bottom to prevent the stretch reflex, which can dramatically increase your chance of injury. How many of you have seen pec tears by people lifting maximum weights in the gym? Lower the bar slowly, pause the weight, and explode on the way up, trying to get 10 to 15 repetitions. That'll allow you to stay safe while making gains in the gym. Hopefully you liked the video. Ending it here. Don't forget, harder than last time supplements. You can get those, click the link in the description. Training books, the Circle Diet book, cookbooks, coaching plans by me and my team. Watch the 2 vids, subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. And until next time, I am out.